Hi guys, so I'm gonna read Superman number one, the second story. So Superman Champions Universal Peace by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. I have a great assignment for you, Clark. Big story, probably make history. Let me at it. Professor Runyon, a scientific genius. Dash over to his home and see what's up. I got you, Chief. But what has Runyon done to merit an interview? Nothing much. He's just set the scientific world on its ears with his amazing inventions. That's all. Now get going. And I suppose he's got some new discovery to announce. Okay, I'm on my way. Later. You're Professor Runyon, aren't you? Yes, and you must be the reporter from the Daily Star. Step in, young man. I have a story to tell that should make your front page. And what is this important news you want to tell our readers? I, Professor Adolphus Runyon, has discovered the most deadly weapon modern warfare has ever seen. Elucidate, Professor, elucidate. Behold, in this tube is contained a gas so powerful that is capable of penetrating any type of gas mask. Those are boastful words, Professor. Can you prove them? I knew you would be skeptical, so I was prepared. Come with me. Me to introduce Ambrose. Say, what is this, a gag? What has Ambrose to do with your discovery? Ambrose is going to illustrate the deadly power of my gas. After Runyon places the monkey within a glass jar, the chamber is filling with ordinary gas. As you can see, Ambrose is unaffected. But now as I release my new type of gas into the jar, watch what happens. He's dead. Right. My gas penetrated his gas mask. Now, do you believe me when I say that the world has never seen a discovery of such vast military import? You've certainly got something there, Professor. What do you intend doing with it? I'll turn it to our War Department, but only in the case of a defensive war. Think so? Bartow, beat it, you. We want to see the professor alone. But I haven't finished my interview. Are you gonna scram, or do I have to get tough? I'll go. That's better. He ain't so dumb at that. But as he leaves, Clark pauses outside the door to eavesdrop with his super-sensitive ears. A professor who has invented a terribly destructive gas. 3 evil-looking gents. The combination spells trouble. What Clark overhears. Well, you're going to hand over the formula for the gas so that you can sell it to armament profiteers? Nothing doing. Get out. You've 24 hours to turn the secret formula over to us. Or else, get that? Clark trails the International Racketeers taxi to a bungalow beside a private flying field. So there's where they hang out. I'll just keep that in mind. After Clark returns to the newspaper office, I'll dash off this write-up of Runyon, then return to Bartow and his friends for a little talk. Here it is, Chief, the interview with Professor Runyon. Some story. Just a moment while I answer this call. What's that? Say it again. We'll all be blowed. What is it, Chief? Runyon's just been found. Murdered. Runyon murdered. Those 3 men who threatened him are his slayers. No doubt of it. Later, within the privacy of his apartment, Clark Kent removes civilian clothes, revealing his Superman costume beneath. Now for their hideout. Those murderers are slated to receive a visit from Superman and justice. Down towards Bartow's bungalow hurtles a fantastic figure. Within the bungalow. Why'd you have to kill Runyon after we gave him 24 hours? I got there just as he was about to beat it. Come on, the Civil War in Boravia won't wait. Boravia. Civil War, so that's their game. Shortly after, the armament racketeers take off in their private plane. With one leap, Superman springs atop the departing airplane. For a moment he sways, almost losing his footing. Oops, but regains his balance. I'll just make myself comfortable and bide my time. For hours, the International Armament Crook's plane continues its flight, with the Man of Steel clinging tirelessly atop it. Are we nearing Boravia? We'll reach it in a few minutes. And then to cash in on that formula. Several minutes later, the airplane winged swiftly over Boravia, a small country, exhausting its lifeblood in senseless civil war. Superman X. Tearing at the plane's metal sides, he rips it open. It's time I had a little talk with Bartow. What in? How did you get here? Never mind. What you should be concerned with is what I'll do now that I'm here. Well, what do you want of me? First, the formula. What formula? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't quibble. Cracking your head like an eggshell will be a messy job, but if you insist on being stubborn... Cowed by the sudden apparition, the racketeers cravenly cringe. You're lying. One of you has the formula, and if you don't hand it over... Bartow's got it. Don't touch me. I'll get it for you. Take over the controls. That's better. But as Bartow advances toward a cabinet, a crafty gleam lights his eyes. What does his evil brain plot? Suddenly, Bartow whirls, blazing away, his automatic wrecking the plane's controls. Sucker! Then launches himself out into space. Ho ho, tricking him was a cinch. So he thinks I'm done for, eh? What a surprise he's due for. A cloaked figure hurls itself from out of the wrecked plane. Down it speeds in a breathtaking plunge. Remember me? Huh? Now behave, or I'll tear the parachute to shreds. And wouldn't that be too bad for you? Within the armament racketeer's crippled plane. We're going to crash! Quick, the passengers may still be alive. It's Bartow's plane. Lucky for you, we came along when we did. Where's Bartow? He bailed out, maybe in danger. We've got to find him. I saw a parachute descending near that hill. As Superman is captive alight. Are you ready to give me that formula? Here it is, but when Lubane, the munitions magnate, learns I fumbled, my life will be forfeit. When the searching party comes within view. Give it back, I've changed my mind. I warn you if... Strange? I could have sworn I hit the guy with a cape. Careful you don't hit Bartow. Wanna play, eh? Come on. As the soldiers ram their bayonets against Superman's super tough skin, they are astonished by what follows. Gosh, good gosh, look! The bayonet's broken! At that moment, a rebel plane streaks downward and releases a deadly bomb toward the struggling men. He's still alive. Give me a hand with him. When the Man of Steel's bearers reach their camp. We've captured the rebels, sir. What are your orders? Headquarters demands we promptly execute all prisoners. And so it occurs that when Superman revives later, it is to find himself faced by a firing squad. You don't look very dangerous now, up against that wall. Will he have you any last words? Yes, what are you going to do with the formula? Turn it over to Lubane, the munitions manufacturer. Wait, that's what he just said earlier. Anyway, the munitions manufacturer. Farewell, I leave you now to the captain and your fate. After Bartow and his two henchmen depart. Ready, aim, fire! Superman goes down before a firing squad barrage. As squad commences to march away. Just a minute, boys. Try again. I can't understand how all of you missed him, but one thing I'm sure of. It won't happen again. Ho hum, this is beginning to bore me. Our guns must be filled with blanks. Ouch, my foot. Sorry, I haven't time to stand around while you waste ammunition on me. Along the road races Superman at a terrific rate, shells exploding about him on all sides. Soon after, a town under bombardment, helpless women and children being killed. I've got to help them. Superman dashes toward the long-range cannon responsible for the havoc, and smashes it. Seizing an armful of aircraft bombs, Superman leaps off. Anti-aircraft guns attempt desperately to blast the fantastic figure out of the sky. Get him! He's headed towards the munitions works. This'll be a square hit. As Superman's bomb strikes Earth, the great new munitions works are destroyed amidst terrific carnage. A dirigible swerves towards Superman, determined to blot him out before he can continue with further destruction. A fantastic battle wages high above the earth. The Man of Tomorrow scrambles atop the sky vessel. As Superman tears the great balloon apart, it falls to its doom. Meanwhile, a few minutes previous to Superman's air raid. Bartow, you're sooner than I expected. Yes, Lou Bane, and we've had several hair-raising experiences. Never mind about that. If you've got the formula, give it to me. Here it is. We were forced to use drastic measures to secure it. Take this formula to the laboratory and hurry it back with a sample of the gas. Yes, sir. After the assistant departs abruptly, the room is rocked by a series of explosions. Whoa, what's that? We're being bombed! Those explosions. What's happening? What do they mean? A man? Leaping through the sky? Dropping bombs? You must be mad. Good grief, Superman! He's still alive! He must have escaped from this firing squad. Superman? Who's that? Our nemesis. A man possessing terrific strength. He's after the formula. Here's the gas and formula as you requested. Superman, eh? Well, whoever he is, he can't frighten me. As long as I have this gas, I need fear no one. Later, as he drops down along the side of the Munitions Administration building, Superman catches hold of a window. Within Lou Bane's office. You've got the formula, now give us our dough. We're clearing out. Take it and go. We're grabbing the first plane out of here that we can get, and if you're wise, you'll do the same. Still referring to a mythical Superman, eh? Superstitious fools. I think I'll give Lou Bane a little taste of his superstitious fear. I've got it at last. What I've always sought, the most horribly destructive gas on Earth. Now nothing can stop me. Nothing can stop me now, nothing. Who are you? What do you want of me? I'm going to give you the fate you deserve, Lou Bane, for promoting this war and profiteering upon the death and misery of others. Back. This glass vial contains a portion of Runyon's terrible gas. Another step forward and I'll smash it. You're bluffing. Give it to me. Superman advances, and in his excitement, Lou Bane drops the tube. It smashes. Deadly fumes arise. You fool! See what you've done? We'll both die. Horribly. Help me, the pain. I'm choking. I can't breathe. You're only getting a taste of the fate that you plan to doom others to. Don't just stand there. Blast you. Why don't you die? The gas doesn't affect my physical structure. One less Vulture. He won't need this formula any longer. And now for the toughest task of all. Shortly after, down streaks Superman towards a building within which representatives of the two warring factions have assembled to discuss peace. Yeah, this story is a lot like Superman Action Comics #2. It's a lot like it. There's a lot of similar elements. But within a great hall of the building, gentlemen, we've got to come to terms. We mustn't permit this bloodshed to continue. We'll fight until we get our terms. But they're preposterous. I refuse to negotiate any further, and so do I. We might as well break up the meeting. It's evident we can't settle our differences. I beg to differ. None of you will leave this hall until you come to terms. How dare you break in here? Get out! So you need a little persuasion, eh? Seizing one of the 4 pillars which support the walls, Superman tears at it. A guy named Samson once had the same idea. As Superman tears at the pillar fragments of the ceiling, ringing about at the aghast men. Stop it! You kill us all! I thought you'd understand this better than mere words. Demolishing 3 of the 4 pillars that support the roof is a simple task for Superman. Continue with your peace negotiations, or I'll smash the remaining pillar, bringing the entire roof down on you. No, don't! If we value our lives, we got to do as he says. And so the discussion is forcibly continued, under the watchful eyes of Superman. Go on, say that your demands are selfish and absurd. I withdraw my absurd demands, and I find the remainder of your terms acceptable. Gentlemen, since you've reached an amicable agreement, we can all sign the peace treaty. Shortly after, the negotiations committee makes an important announcement to cheering throngs. The war is over. The committee has agreed on peace. Disappearing during the excitement, Superman dons civilian garments and walks through the rejoicing city to the airport. And to think that just a few minutes ago these happy people were under the dread shadow of war. Bartow and his friends about to return to the United States. How fortunate for me. Telegraph, George Taylor, editor. So, I think this is the first time the editor of the Daily Star. So, like I said, I think I've said this in my very early videos, but George Taylor was the original name for Perry White. The editor, then the Daily Star was called, the Daily Planet was called the Daily Star. Later they'd make George Taylor and Perry White two separate characters. And they've also said here Metropolis is in New York City, or sorry, New York State. So now it's officially not in Ohio, it's in New York now, as of this. So that was, so there was a very brief time it was in Ohio, but now it's in New York. And it's now, probably for the rest of the comics, Metropolis will be on the East Coast. So Boravian Civil War ends in truce. Returning on airliner 7X with murderers of Runyon. Meet us at airport with police. Clark Kent. With the plane about to leave in a few moments, Clark hurriedly dispatches a telegram. My editor ought to be tickled to get that. Towards the U.S. winks the great Boravian airliner. Within it, through the long hours of the voyage, Clark keeps Bartow's men under surveillance. What's the matter with you? We have a fortune in cash with us, and you're persistent acting jittery. I can't help it when I think of Superman still being alive. Oh, snap out of it. As Metropolis is reached... Actually, it might be... No, I think Metropolis has been mentioned before. Yeah, it's been mentioned before. So, but this is one of the first mentions of Metropolis. You're under arrest for the murder of Adolphus Runyon. But there must be some mistake. Who makes these ridiculous charge? I do. And you won't think it's so ridiculous when a court of law makes you pay for the crime. Nice going, Clark. Now get down to the office and turn out the story before another paper scoops us. Righto. Days later, Kent takes the witness stand. And I distinctly overheard Bartow threatening Runyon's life. The racketeers frenziedly seeks to pin the rap on each other. He did it. I saw him shoot Runyon. That's a lie. You did it yourself. And as a result, receive a severe penalty. I hereby sentence all three of you to die in the electric chair. Congratulations, Clark. You are the sensation of the trial. And you did you score an exclusive on that war story? See, Lois Lane hasn't appeared in a long while. Something I have noticed, Lois Lane doesn't appear in a lot of these stories, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, Lois Lane isn't in a lot of these early Supermans. But well, Lois, has your opinion of me improved any? In my opinion, your scoop was luck, just pure accidental luck. Your admiration overwhelms me. Chief wants to see you, Clark. See, that's Jimmy Olsen, or an early version of Jimmy Olsen. When Clark enters Taylor's office, you covered the war well, but what about the Runyon formula? You got me there. I don't know a thing about it. Later, and that's the end of the formula. It's too deadly to be permitted to exist. So yeah, that's the end of that comic. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you could like, comment, or subscribe, that'd be appreciated. Thank you. And I'll see you guys later.